YouTube, it's Brian Phillips, Maule M7. Check just in case it's on sale for coupon codes in the description below. Follow the link, buy one for yourself. We're gonna take off with this beauty and show you how it flies. Takeoff flaps dialed in, throttle cuts off. Following this flight or series of flights, we're gonna go ahead and have your standard unbox build and setup video. We'll go to the runway. I'm also showcasing some sunglasses today. Did you show the people? We're gonna see how they work. This comes from Banggood. We'll see how it works. And if they work well, I'll give you a report at the end. It's always sunny where I come from. Get out of the grass, Molly. There you go. Oh, gorgeous. It's like deja vu. She'll get off the ground quicker than I showed.
Man.
Need a little bit of trim. You see how it's going downhill there? Okay, a little bit too much trim. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna be hands off stick, nice and level. Okay, and we need a little bit of aileron, just a little bit of rudder. Okay, I think we got her trimmed. Take off flaps, landing flaps, dialing in. We're gonna go down the runway. Man, look at this thing slow down. That thing looks gorgeous. Wow, she balloons. He's ballooning on us. Do a rudder turn up here. We got a lot of wind going down the runway right now. Oh, hold on. Camera crew.
What?
I'm watching. I lost my hatch.
Oh.
Yep, it's over there. I saw it. It's on the side of the yard.
Okay.
You know, I was thinking those hatches might be susceptible to popping off.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll throw a piece of packing tape on there and she should be good. Full landing flaps here. Nice cross breeze coming in. Whoa, buddy. Wowzers. Okay. How did the antennae fare? They did okay. Got a little bend in them. See? Well, that was kind of annoying. Nobody likes a nose over like that.
No.
See how that popped out?
Yep.
So we'll go ahead and just keep flying here. Takeoff flaps. We'll show you a STOL takeoff. Throttle cuts off. Man, she's got a lot of power. Oh, jeez. Okay, out of the flaps altogether. Getting into some forward flight here. You hear it squealing?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. She looks so gorgeous up there. Flying into my middle expo mode. Really happy with the way she's performing. Really solid flying plane. Got a little bit of coordination there. I think I added in a 15% rudder mix. Oh, you see that bird? Right down the runway here. Do a low pass. We're gonna keep about 15% throttle dialed in. Gorgeous. That pilot looks so amazing. We got thermal action. We got upset winds today, and this thing is just doing perfect. I love the sound it makes. Love the red up against the blue. Gorgeous. I'm scared to death for focus.
Yep, me too.
Okay, we're gonna go into the bowl here. Trying to keep it low so you can keep the trees in there. Okay, going into the bowl here. Kind of over the vampire killing zone there. Nice slow flight right in front of us here. Then we'll go into the bowl. Man, look at that shadow. Gorgeous. Well, there's our timer.
Jeez.
4 minutes flies fast. Okay, so we'll land it. We'll check our voltages here. Careful where you are there, camera crew. Woo! I want a better landing than that for the Maiden. Hey, you need to get back to your spot over there, please. Because I don't ever know where you are when you wander. Okay. I'm gonna come in for the same exact approach you saw before. We have quite a bit of wind today, but this thing is handling it like a superstar. Takeoff flaps, landing flaps coming in right now. Getting some thermal action off of the vampire killing zone. Man, didn't quite have enough elevator there. You see that thing fighting the wind? Okay, remember how they said 4-minute flight timer? Pretty sure she's gonna go a little bit longer than that. Lots of turbulence there. You see me fighting that thermal? Beautiful landing though. Nice wide stance. Obviously she'll do the grass, even the taller grass like this, guys. She'll do all the grass you want. I'm gonna chop the throttle here, just in case I would hit. Ooh, look at that. We spread out the landing gear a little bit. That's no good. Thing I like about this, similar to the Cirrus SR22T, look at this. We'll just bend her back down where we need her. Then obviously the pants get a little bit dirty from the, I don't know if those qualify as wheel pants. Maybe it's like wings, like landing gear struts. But man, I love the way it flies. Let's go find that real quick and grab it. We'll come right back. Not really, but yeah.
Okay.
You tell me when.
I'm going.
All right, so we're plugging in the smart tester here. And we are at 3.8. We're at 41%, so you could go a little longer. I would say you could get 5.5 minutes out of a 32, pretty conservatively. Well, you might be kind of pushing it at that, but 5 minutes would be totally safe. On a brand new smart 3200 4S. And I'm gonna jump into the 4S 2200 this time. And we're gonna get that probably pulled almost all the way to the front of the plane. If I can get my leads to behave like this. Okay, I'm gonna plug this in. While I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna clear the timer. Now this one, we're probably gonna have to run right at the timer, especially with the wind, because the wind is going to be of great impact. Okay, so as we discussed, putting the Velcro on the 3200 is not necessary because it's literally in there, the only place it can go. And then we'll go ahead and just throw this in a pocket for now. Actually, we'll lay it up on the side. But this thing we found, it just popped off. I don't know, maybe I didn't get it clipped in there good enough. So we got that spring back. Now we've tested it. Ooh, you have to kind of push that forward, folks. That's probably what we did wrong. Got to push that forward. So that being said, we're gonna go ahead and do a 2200 milliamp flight on 4 minutes timer. We're gonna take off. You wanna do a grass takeoff this time?
Sure.
Okay. Hey, back one step, there you go. Okay, we'll do a grass takeoff here. Grass is not well kept, but it's good enough for this job. Oh yeah, you got more than enough power. Now on this CG, we're gonna be, I would almost say just very, very slightly toward the tail heavy side. We're well within the CG range. Oh, look at that gorgeous, man. On 2200, she is light as a feather. Light as a feather and beautiful. Under the power lines there. Make sure we're all the way through. What was that? I'm sure we'll find out when we go in.
Hope that wasn't from in our house.
Full speed pass. Another crazy turn. What is that noise?
Hopefully it's our excavating operating neighbors.
Oh, that could be. Upside down flight, totally fine. They're safe. And I'll just show you guys safe for a second here. As usual, just kind of point it around so you can see what it's doing. See how responsive it is. Poles are right, level, totally hands off. We'll turn it around, put full flaps on. We have safe on. Here's full flaps. You guys want to do a safe landing with this one? Chop the throttle, just guiding it in. I've got the throttle stick down all the way. I'm just using the rudder to point the plane. Jeez, look at that thing, it's barely moving. Okay, a little bit of throttle just so it doesn't stall on us. Pulling up on the elevator stick, boom, there she goes. That was a really uneventful landing, guys. Okay, out of safe now. With the wind this time, we'll show you how powerful this thing is. No problems at all. Look at that pitch because the wind is catching the top of the plane. All right, let's go in the bowl, hon. Take off flaps. Man, it is turbulent over there. But this AS3X is just locking this plane in, guys. Right over the trees here. Yeah, that's the neighbors. Notice we haven't lost that little tray yet. To our left this time. Man, this thing is awesome. I have a sneaky suspicion it's a slightly beyond scale flight performance here. Man, it looks good. The red is so striking up against the backdrop. I'm really hoping that it shows up good on camera today.
I'm really nervous.
A lot of confused winds today, folks. Oh, geez, I forgot the trailer. I forgot the trailer gate was up. Okay, go to your spot. You're blocking my path. Thank you. Right there, right there. Okay, here we go, full landing flaps. We're gonna see if we can put it right at our feet. Got to keep the nose pointed down just a little so she doesn't stall too bad. Not quite right at our feet, but close enough for my taste. And the other thing I noticed is that tail wheel will pull up on you. Okay, taking off here. Jeez, that's got power. There's our warning. We're gonna go ahead and land it. Stole style. All right, without further ado, we'll talk about it for a minute. I love the way it looks. I love the way it flies. It is not calm today. And this thing is tolerating the wind amazingly. Guys, the Maule M7, check the link in the description. Get one, stick around for the unbox, build and radio setup, and maybe you'll learn something you didn't know, or maybe you'll need some help along the way putting it together. It was super easy going together. So I don't think you're gonna need that, but one way or another. Thanks for watching, come back for more. YouTube, it's Brian Phillips again. I have a big box here, something I've been wanting to do for a while. And in honor of the sale that's going on right now, hopefully you're not watching this after the sale, we're gonna open it up right now and it's gonna be awesome. You may have already figured out what it is from watching the flight that we will very likely put at the beginning because that's what people like. Or reading the box. Or maybe just looking at that beautiful thing. This is the E-flite Maule 1.5 meter. Oh, it's beautiful. Does it come with floats? Well, it comes with floats. That's pretty awesome. Okay, all right, I gotta flip this thing out here. This is the STOL plane that I don't have yet. And I have kind of a thing for general aviation planes. Oh, look at this. Superimposed image. That is so funny. I am really excited for these flaps on this plane. Oh, that's beautiful in the snow. That looks gorgeous. I bet the red is gonna look good up against the sky. I hope the white doesn't disappear. So it's the Maule M7 AS3X, and is this one safe also? Yes, this is safe. It's got safe select. So without further ado, I just want to see the box. Oh yes, landing lights and nav lights. Love it. And it looks like there must be a servo. Yes, there's a servo in the floats, which means we're going to be able to actually steer it on the water without hooking up a linkage or whatever. We'll just have one cable to hook up. All right, so let's get this thing out of the box. It's been a busy couple of weeks around here. You guys might have noticed from the millions of hours worth of footage that's been released. Sorry, we had an interruption. Oh no, there's wheels coming out. Oh, those wheels look awesome. Ooh. I feel like I'm caught on something. Can you tell what I'm caught on? Nope. The wheels. What am I caught on? Boy, you would think it'd be easier to open these things, but it's just not usually. Okay, very good. Okay, so we'll just put this back here for now. Enjoy the superimposed image. All right, so typical Horizon packaging here. We've got ample loading support on the sides, which really helps to keep these things in one piece. The tape is yellowed. That's weird. Not excited about that. And the only company that uses foam to protect foam from other foam, just in case the foam would scratch the foam. You wouldn't want that. And the floats have a reinforcement right on the bottom there. This is just, feels like it has something in there. It's just like a splash guard. That's pretty cool though. That's got to help with keeping the water from shooting up at the prop, I would imagine. And then yes, there is a rudder servo in there, which is pretty awesome. Look how clean that is, guys. You don't typically think of having a servo in a 1.5 meter size class for floats, but I'll take it if I can get it. That's awesome. Okay, so this is the next piece. Okay, the manual's right here. It's got a nice picture on it. That's kind of cool. Some of them are better than others. I'm not sure why that is. Okay, so we got the spinner here. Just kind of, there's a lot of pieces on this plane, so that's a beautiful spinner. Look at that. I like silver spinners because they usually look good. It's hard to make a plastic red spinner, for instance, or blue. They never seem to quite match. So it's like, if you can't match, you might as well just make them independently good. Okay, so the floats, normally I don't open the floats on the Unbox because I make kind of a separate video for that. And we do have plans to do that. We actually have a bunch. These are nice, heavy duty. They got a little bit of spring to them, actually. Yeah, they're pretty heavy duty usually though. Floats in general are generally pretty heavy on these things. And that's why you need so much power to do it. These STOL capable planes, and if you're not sure what that means, that'd be short takeoff or landing. Okay, it looks like we have the prop or a spare prop. This is 11.7, that's it. That's very surprising. It's a nice clean prop though. I like the way it looks. Looks realistic, nice sharp edges. Don't want to get your finger in there. It does have a nut insert on the back, which that means it's going to be pretty hyper specific. We've got some struts here that go, I believe, with the floats. Yeah, almost certainly. And just carefully pulling this tape off so that when I pull the other stuff off, it doesn't pick up into the wing. Okay, it looks like a rudder extension cord. Oh no, rudder Y cable. And then some antennae. That's pretty sweet. And some screws. Looks like we only have a couple of different types of screws. That should help a little bit with assembly. I really want to get this fuse out, but I'm trying to save the best for last. Oh man, that's gorgeous. Look at that shape. Look at this. It's not just like a flat piece of foam. Love it when they do this. There would be a light, but they molded in a fake light. I believe. This has plastic molded right into it. That is really nice. And there's a carbon fiber spar in here, I think. Yeah, there is a carbon fiber spar. Can you guys see that? Yep. So there's a vertical spar, and then it's got this big key that goes down into the fuse and receives the screw. And then the control horn is just really heavy duty. It looks like a pinch hinge, but I don't think it is. I think there's something else in there maybe. No, I can see light through it. It's just a pinched hinge. But I don't see any tape or anything, so that surprises me. Typically when they go real heavy duty like that, they'll have hinges embedded in the foam. So not really a deal breaker, but I mean, especially on a rudder. Oh yeah, that is a gorgeous wing. I like this color, it's really bold.
Really different.
I like the feel. I love that they do these bumps. And then they do the vortex generators here, which is beautiful. I like that that's white, that's pretty cool. Really cool, actually. Is this how you lock it in? Oh, so there's our lights and our servo connections for the huge flaps. Look how big that is. It's like twice as big as the aileron. And of course the wing struts. Got some protection over the bottom because that's a sharp edge. Very heavy duty. Heavier duty probably than something. They look like they're about as heavy duty, if not more, than the Carbon Z Cub, and that's a lot bigger plane. Okay, again, oh, beautiful landing lights too. I know I mentioned that from the box, but you see that, this is a big LED. So I'm hoping that's as bright as I expect it to be. And I like the wingtip, I like this shape, that's beautiful. Big flaps, kind of would have liked to see that painted though. It's a little bit hokey. With all this detail, you'd think they would have done that. The joiner is not carbon fiber though, it's fiberglass, I think. That's weird. I've not ever seen Horizon do a fiberglass wing joiner. I mean, I'm assuming they probably have ample lift. It's probably so lifty that you could add weight to it and not have a problem. Okay, so this fuse is, oh, it's got a really detailed inside. What am I hitting? Oh, guys, when you lift this out, be careful about the release. That thing was catching. Man, that is gorgeous. Look inside. Oh yes, look, instrument cluster.
Wait, hold still. Wait, there's a glare. Go around. Oh, there's still a glare. There's too many windows.
That is so cool.
That's cool.
And then of course they've got the frame inside. That is really cool. Man, that would have cost a lot to build, I bet. Love the way that looks. Oh, I wonder if there's an inside light. I can't tell. There might be. I don't know. I don't want to say if there's not. Okay, and then this has the EFL 5367 brushless motor in there, which is 1050 kV. So it's a BL15. So that's pretty standard for this size class. That's a short fuselage. Oh, wow, look at the tail wheel. That's going to attach to the rudder, of course. Really detailed tail wheel. Show them that. That's crazy. I love the way that tail wheel looks. That's a 1.25 inch, I believe. It says on there. Doesn't feel soft at all, though. Then, of course, this is where your landing gear are going to go in. And your floats. And then this is probably access to the receiver, I'm guessing. Oh, yeah, buddy. AR636B. Okay, got one of the antennas sticking down here, not real good with that. I do like what I'm seeing here, a top access hatch for batteries. Where was that choice on the timber?
No kidding.
Seriously, love it.
Don't chop your fingers off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing that's not good about having top access like this. But even on the timber, you're going in on the bottom. And you're right up at the front anyway. Okay, so we're gonna lay that down. We've got some more pieces. Looks like they're on the bottom. Just gonna put these puzzles back together. Oh, wait. Oh, don't forget that. That blends straight into the box. Yes, you do have carbon fiber. This is, of course, the horizontal stabilizer. And no embedded foam hinges on there. I'm really surprised. Oh yeah, you gotta work that too. Love the way that looks. The wing struts. And it's nice and straight too, guys. I've had a couple of Horizon planes where my tail feathers were not square. Was that the Twin Otter and then the tractor, the air tractor?
Yeah.
Disappointingly so, but still awesome planes. I love both of them. Why is this cardboard here? Oh, that's probably just to stop the prop shaft from coming through this into the box. Boy, they used some like really yellow tape on this. That's not like Horizon to use a regular masking tape like that. Oh yeah, those are heavy duty. Look how thick that is. These wheels are beautiful. I like the way they look. They've got that simulated tread in there. They're not very soft though. I think a pneumatic tire would be nice, but honestly be a lot heavier. Seems like they're not super worried about weight on this plane. So we'll just lay this stuff down here. We'll get things picked up and then we'll jump straight into the build and radio setup part. All right, so we've got the Maule all unpackaged and this plane is designed to run on 3 or 4S. So we're probably gonna shoot for 3200, 3S or 4S. But then we also, as a backup plan, in case we have trouble getting those into the opening, we're gonna go for 3S 2200 or 4S 2200. And we haven't showed you this, our newest charger. I don't usually unbox these things, but they are marvelously packaged. And so I figured it would be doing a disservice to not show this thing open up, because look how beautiful this packaging is. If you guys have already seen my plethora of chargers, I have many of them now. You might be surprised that I have this one now too. But look at, these things are super nice. And this is the S1100, so it's a 100-watt AC smart charger, and it's a single charge, and that's why I'm super excited about it, because it shows the status like that. Foam in here. These things are just amazingly strong packaging and beautiful. Okay.
How much that we keep them on our kitchen counter.
We do keep them. Look how much nicer that looks.
Just really hoping we've got 4 of them instead of 3.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's for my camera crew. She requested that.
They look way nicer. Yeah.
They're like about night and day different compared to what we had before.
They are kind of cool looking.
And the smart chargers are so much easier to use.
Even the camera crew can use them.
Yes, even the camera crew. With some adult supervision.
Yes. Lots of
Oh, look at that. This one comes with an adapter. That was wise and called for. I like this. I like that the screen is only going to be shared with one. It looks like we got a USB micro connection. We've got our regular AC plug. I like the heavy duty plug. However, I want to point this out to you folks at home. When you get the S2100, this is the type of cord it comes with, okay? Which is nice in certain applications because you don't have a ground to deal with. You can plug into different plugs, so you want to keep that in mind. This one's got the definitely grounded cable and the heavier duty input like this. So not necessarily a deal breaker for us, but we happen to be using so many different chargers in so many different spots that you get into the bigger plugs and it might actually impact your decision. Also, you may want to check and see if the 1200 or the 1500 are on sale. They might be. But just check, because you could be watching this video like 3 years after we filmed it, which is what I'm assuming. Maybe they'll be on sale again, so you should probably check. And when I say on sale, there's a coupon code that's listed. If it exists, it's listed, and if it works, it should be there. Okay, so it comes with a decent length cord. Okay, obviously this thing's gonna plug in there. It's not exactly rocket science. These things are so easy to use, but they also do send you an instruction manual if you're really, really bored. You can read through that. It does tell you the way that the wires plug in, which is nice because on these balance plugs, they don't really indicate the negative side, which I wish they would. But if you sit and study it, it'll make sense because obviously it's got to go this way. Obviously, as in from somebody who uses these things all the time. If you're spending this kind of money on a charger, you probably have used them before. Oh, that's a beautiful splash screen. No battery detected. Okay, so we're just gonna peel off. Oh, you son of a peeler. Look at this. I'm not leaving that protective stuff on there. My camera crew is cringing. Look at this, look at this. Oh yeah. That's my only gripe with these things is that once you pull this beautiful protective cover, they do tend to get a little bit scratched up by coarse hands. Okay, so no battery detected. That's probably good because there isn't a battery attached. Whoa. Oh yeah, of course it's got the smart lead. It's got this, see? And I'm just, yeah, mine do too. I was gonna say, this is the lead that actually carries the signal for the smart part of the smart battery. And then of course this is an IC3 and an IC6. I think you'd call that a female, but I guess I technically don't know. So in this case, let's go ahead and plug in the battery. You do not need the balance lead at all, but I'm gonna use it. Insert balance lead. But just so you know, you can kind of do it without. So I'm gonna just plug this in here. Okay, so that's in there. Initiating smart charging. Whoa, it's like already doing it. Look at the cool graphics on there. Charge rate 1.7. It's got a remaining time. That's sweet. It's at 99%, so it's not gonna take long. And it tells you how many milliamp hours have been forced into the pack, which is pretty sweet. I mean, all these details help you to determine if a LiPo is still in good shape, good enough shape to use. And I would highly recommend, if you haven't made the switch and you do a lot of Horizon stuff, the packs are more expensive by like 2 to 3 times from the cheap crap I was using before, but they are worth it because I am using a lot less batteries these days. Those batteries that are in that row there are pretty much the batteries I use right now, and I'm flying like all the planes on them. So you guys know I had a lot of batteries, and I got a lot of batteries that are sitting outside my garage that are all puffed up and crappy and useless and probably a fire hazard, and I should probably do a 4th of July display with them. But I just wanted to let you guys know these things are awesome. They're every bit as good as you think they will be. But if you haven't already got this, and this is just the 2-minute spiel, this thing is my favorite of the smart accessories, which is ridiculous. And yes, I did put that cover on myself. It comes with a protective cover, and I did a horrible job. So anyway, favorite tool. You can check the balance down to the like 1,000th of a volt, and it's very accurate and very good. So it makes your little voltage meters a thing of the past. So without further ado, I couldn't resist doing a box opening on this and just showing you how that works and then letting this get charged. We're gonna go ahead and pause for just a second and put things away. So my wonderful camera crew made a mention that she likes that there isn't an external power supply on them. I kind of like the power supply when I want to pump like 500 watts into a, see this is 200 watts at 8 amps. I believe this one is up to 16 amps, which is a crazy amount of power if I remember right. What's the maximum, does it say? I'm not sure, but it's a lot. So the 15, that's the fastest charger configuration, but it's also quite expensive by the time you buy this, which is a 30 amp power supply and this. The other thing we do is we charge our lapel mics, which are here, the photo weld. And so I have 4 of the USB things charging, and then we'll charge the battery for the plane. And then, as you can see, it's done. So it's gonna start beeping incessantly. And you can push and hold for the menu. Oh, cool, look at that, that's so cool. This one's got different, feel it, run it. No, like press this slider.
Oh, it is a little bit different.
See, it's so different than this one. Well, maybe it's not different. This one feels like it's smoother.
Maybe it's
that
just
one's
'cause
got
this
more
one's been
texture.
used.
No, that one's
This one is
smoother.
though.
I like the feel of this one because it's almost just feels better on the finger, which is funny because I wouldn't think it would make a difference, but it kind of does. What's my favorite charger right now? My favorite charger is this one because it also has that status on, this is a 1200. It has the status that shows how much charge is left. And I really like that. And then I like the speed with which it charges. Okay, so I'll just plug this one in just to show you what it looks like. This is a 3S 2200. So it already has all the setup. See, it says 96% up there. So I really like that feature. Plus, I like that that's small. And one other drawback on this style from that style is that I can use a big honkin' pack like this, and I can actually energize this and charge from another battery. Not that could be a drawback, you know, you may not want to have a power supply. But you can also put a really long lead and you can hide your power supply somewhere else too, which is nice. And then you can make it really concise. So anyway, I wanted to go over that real quick. Sorry for that diversion into that thing, but I wanted you to see it. So this plane is awesome. We've got all the tools ready to go. You do need some Allen wrenches for it. I don't know why, but the manufacturers will include a Phillips screwdriver, but they won't give you an Allen wrench anymore. I don't get it. It seems to me like it would make sense if you need an Allen wrench, just provide the Allen wrench. I mean, because I like to have thousands of these things sitting around, you know, because you might use them for landing gear someday. Sorry, inside joke. All right, so if you open the manual, we always go into these manuals. Horizon does a really great job. The E-flite brand is just one of the brands under the family of Horizon Hobby. They have some of the best manuals. Obviously, this thing is heavy enough when it's finished, 1,871 grams, so you got to do the FAA stuff. So just be careful about that. Center of gravity is 50 to 70 millimeters back from the leading edge of the wing at the fuselage, which interestingly enough, I've been going through my shop. I know I promised you guys to show you that process, but there's no way I'm going to film that. It's just too long. Yeah. So I got this crappy thing, and we're going to use it. I've got a much better one downstairs, but this one, I don't even know where I got it, but this one's supposed to be, or was it 55? Okay, so 55. So 55 would be here. So 55. So the way I can do this now, it's going to be super easy, is I can just hold the calipers up there. So we'll use that. That's pretty exciting. Flight timer is 4 minutes. Good Lord. Maybe it's kind of like that other one we filmed that they were like, set your timer to 3 minutes, and then we flew it for how long? 17? It was 17 minutes. So I was like, no, that's not right. So 4 minutes is probably on the safe side. Which is funny because if I would have been flying on my old Turnigy packs, I probably would have got like 2 minutes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, so the computerized setup is on page 4. I like this setup, Horizon, if you're listening, which I doubt you are. I like that on the first page, you have useful information. In the second page, you have the rest of the useful information. And then you delve into the assembly. That's appreciated from me. All right, so the first thing we got to do is put the landing gear on. 3 by 16 millimeter, I believe. Tapered head machine screw. And it looks like there's some plastic little doohickeys that go in there. These set screws, by the way, we looked over the instructions. These set screws are used for the float set. So we're going to keep the bag with those in there. And then the self-tapping screws that look nothing like the screws provided must be these ones. I don't understand why it's so hard to actually send the screw that's pictured in the manual. But if you guys look at this, this is what's provided, okay? So clearly that's not that, okay? And then this is for the spinner, and clearly that actually looks to be the same. So I don't know if they just didn't include the Horizon addendum in this one, but one way or another, not a big deal. It's just kind of strange that they send, or did they short us altogether? I don't know. Maybe we just haven't found the bag yet.
That was all the 2 bags.
I'm gonna shut this charger.
No screws needed for this float installation. It's just those little black
Well, I was wondering the same thing, camera crew.
Make it easier to differentiate, possibly.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the only spot where it needs Phillips head screws. Is for
The struts on the horizontal stabilizer. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put the landing gear in. We've got these little plastic pieces. The antenna do not need any glue to mount, which is really sweet because I was all excited to get my new mucilage out. I got a bunch of mucilage finally. And it's still my favorite glue. I don't care how many of you tell me that foam tack works just as good. I disagree wholeheartedly because I've used foam tack. I have like 3 bottles of foam tack downstairs, never use it. And I use mucilage and I love it. Okay, so these clips, these doohickeys are gonna hold the landing gear in. So actually, you know what? Let's pause, we'll get something to lay this down upside down on so we don't scratch it up. All right, so we're back, guys. Since it's 4th of July weekend when we're filming this, I could use a 5/64 or I could use 2 millimeters. So since we're in America, I'm gonna go ahead and use the 5/64 of an inch, a good old imperial measurement instead of the metric one because you know, we love that. So you'll see this here. There's a forward and a backward. And I don't know which one's which. I'm assuming the heavier part goes forward. Wouldn't you assume that too, camera crew? What does the manual say? Yep, look at that. That is intuition right there. Okay, so when you slide this in, that is some robust landing gear, guys. It looks really nice too. Look at that. That is a nice fit. Oh yeah. I don't think these are gonna survive long though. You get a couple of rough landings on there. Okay, so there's an angle here. And the angle is gonna go, it's very obvious. Guys, this is one of those build series where it's like, you really don't need the build series, but this is gonna turn into one of those things where, do I look like Esmeralda right now?
Why? The lighting?
Just the way the light's hitting my face.
Like an angel.
No, that's like Esmeralda.
Esmeralda.
From the Addams Family. Isn't that who it is?
No.
What's her name?
Oh, shoot. See, now you said Esmeralda, and
I'm
now
sorry.
I don't remember.
I thought that's what her name was. But it's the mom that's like always got the light shining on her eyes.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
Someone will leave it in the comments.
Yeah, leave it in the comments, guys. But that's what I think of every time the sun gets in this perfect condition here.
Esmeralda.
It's not Esmeralda.
No.
Dang it.
Esmeralda is like a Disney princess.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Someone leave that in the comments, too.
Well, no, I'm saying it might be a Disney princess, but. So that one's done. I'm not even using the new charger. Oh, this one's still going. No, it's done. This one's done too. Yep. No battery detected. Can you show the people at home what's going on here? Basically, because the smart pack self-discharge, I just always go through the process of recharging the packs. Does that it just starts? Well, that's weird. I mean, not bad, it's just kind of strange. So all the batteries are now touched up. It just takes a quick second to do it. And what happens is instead of having a battery that's puffy and destroyed, you end up with a battery that's like ready to use, you know, a minute or two later. For us, that turns into a bit of a problem because we're like in a huge hurry to film when I get home from a long day's work or something like that. But most of the time, I think, you know, it's not going to be a big issue. And you can set your discharge rate to never if you want. The thing about it, I didn't realize this, but I knew there was a controller inside of those smart packs, but they constantly balance themselves. So each of the cells is always working with the controller to balance. So your cells are always, that's why the smart packs are always so perfectly balanced. Yeah.
I'm not listening to you. I'm still trying to figure out the Addams.
If you only had a smartphone and you could use it.
It's over there.
It's on the other side of the room.
Not in my pocket.
Well, this is a pretty important stuff we're doing right now.
Very.
There we go.
This is high tech.
It is. Hey, you hear the cooling fan? Yep. That's awesome. So those cooling fans, I must say, It's a good thing because it keeps the electronics cool and it makes the chargers work better. But in a quiet room, it'll freak you out when you're sitting there and the first time you hear it, because you won't be expecting it.
It's like our camera.
Whoops. All right, guys, I think this one just needs a little lube.
Makes everything better.
It's really, well, I mean, yeah. Okay, let's show the people at home what I'm gonna do. Watch this. This is why you film in your kitchen, because I'm just gonna take a little Dawn dish soap and see if this works.
Good thing we have a drippy soap dispenser.
Yes, it is a good thing. Oh yeah. It's not squealing yet. It's gonna though. I can already tell. Now it's probably gonna come out super easy and like the plane will crash in a million pieces.
Yep.
Oh, listen to that.
Okay.
See, now you look like Esmeralda.
Still not Esmeralda.
Now I'm kind of hoping that Esmeralda isn't some like horrible cartoon character from Disney that is gonna get me in trouble later.
I don't think so.
Dang it. This is a Merc and it's gotta fit perfect. Get in there. Oh, oop, oop, oop. There it is. There it is. Nice, nice. Okay, great. So we've got that in. Super strong landing gear. I believe these ones are going to be the struts that would go right there. So those are going to go back in the bag of goodies, whatever's left, because that's going to go for the floats. So whenever we build a plane that comes equipped with floats or is capable of being equipped with floats, we always put all the stuff back together, and I try to put it with the manual for the plane. So I love the way that tail wheel looks. This looks so cool. It's like it's stored in my garage, waiting to be flown in a full-scale fashion. That's so cool. Okay, so what's our next step? We're supposed to build the tail assembly. We need 2 Bs, 1 C. Okay, so what? It's the same thing. Why do they call them B and C? They're the same exact part. 3 by 16 millimeters. Why would you differentiate them between B and C? Okay, so this one's done. Show them what it looks like on the screen quick. See, it's green. Green is good. Green is good.
Morticia. Her name's Morticia.
Morticia. Yes, Morticia.
I told you it would come to me randomly.
I'm so glad you're here.
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda. Who's Esmeralda? Oh, Esmeralda's the daughter.
No, that's Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. Okay, good. Why do they have 2 of those?
I don't know.
That's so strange. It's like A, B, and C.
They're all the same.
They're all the same. Maybe they just wanted to differentiate between the position where they're going to be mounted. All right, so now we need this plane to be upright for this part. We kind of got this blanket like we usually do, just because I like to put holes in it when I'm putting together planes on my wife's blankets. But I resisted the urge today. You're welcome.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so that just fits in there with a little bit of pressure. And then, of course, the tail, the vertical stabilizer. This is one gorgeous fit. Look at this, guys. I did this off camera. Look how gorgeous. Yeah, I did. And it looked so cool. Okay, so I got to lift this up so I can get this to line up with the tail, with the rudder. There we go. Oh, look at that fit, guys. See how that goes in there? There's a key in there. That's so cool.
Looks really nice.
I'm excited for this. I love general aviation planes. It's kind of like one of my mainstays. You may have noticed over my shoulder, there's a few general aviation planes. Strange, there's that one airliner in the middle. It's too bad Horizon didn't make that one, because it would have been even better by like a factor of 10, I'm sure.
Probably.
But you know what? That one's pretty sweet too. But look at that. Oh, wow. There's another beautiful one right there on the left. What's that one?
Which one?
Oh, the Cessna Citation UMX.
Yeah.
That one's also gorgeous. 30 millimeter EDFs. Finally, Horizon got rid of those crappy 28 millimeter ones and went to the 30 like they should have done at the beginning. Horizon, if you're listening, congratulations. That was a good move. The hobby world thanks you.
I want to know why Maule is spelled that way.
I don't
Google it.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
It has to be named after
I'm not familiar with this plane in terms of its origins. I just know it's a STOL plane. And at first I kind of thought, man, that thing's butt ugly. And then it's one of those planes that's like, no, it will be mine. It will be mine. What's another plane that I thought that about years ago? And as my appreciation has changed.
Well, I mean, the air tractor wouldn't have been
The
one
air tractor was definitely one.
that you would have picked.
No, not of late, but I mean, when I first kind of got into flying radio-controlled airplanes, there's been a few of them. Oh, the MOA. The MOA was a case in point. The mini MOA. The mini MOA is an FMS product that I had, and I just thought, that thing is just ugly, and I have just come to really like it.
There's another one recently, though, that you told me you were getting, and I was like, meh. And then in person, it was way cooler.
Are we talking about the P51?
No.
Okay, because the P51 had that paint trim scheme that I didn't like at first, and then I got it in person, and it was beautiful.
I still like the red better, but I like that. I've always liked that trim scheme.
I like my blondie trim scheme, my favorite. But the Texan was awesome too. That was silver and gold, or silver and yellow, more specifically.
Something that was orange.
Oh man, that crushing foam. I hate that noise because it always makes me think I'm like not getting it right, but I am. Do you feel it?
No, but I hear it.
I was gonna say, how would you feel it? I'm actually getting nervous all of a sudden. Was I supposed to put those linkages on first? No. We're supposed to put the linkages on last. Hey, the instruction manual came in handy there. Well, I'll just grab these right now and have those handy. So we have to put the ambiguous screws in now. The screws that are kind of not really at all what the manual says, but I'm sure they're self-tapping.
That's the only choice.
Yeah, I don't really know. Am I supposed to go to Menards and get them? I'm not going to Menards now. Oh man, look at those things flying all over the place. I'm sorry, I tried to avoid doing it.
On the dark spot in the countertop too.
Yep.
Good job.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up all these set screws. By the way, guys, one thing that's really nice when you are just getting into the hobby and you're crashing stuff left and right, always keep these things. These things are super handy when you're first getting into the flying because they got a lot of different size set screws. And set screws are one of the weirdest things that you'll have a hard time finding. And you can go get them online if you don't mind waiting from China, because a lot of that stuff you got to get in China. Wow, those screws are dinky. They do feel like they're going to be the right size, by the way. Oh yeah, they'll be the right size. Looks like they might have. Oh, these go into the hole first. Nice. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at that fit, guys. What the heck? Now this is making me second guess my assembly on the tractor, like we did something wrong on the air tractor, because remember I was saying the tail feathers were bent. By the way, the bent tail feathers did not cause it to fly bad, and I don't know how it can't, because it was bent pretty bad. Otherwise, gorgeous plane. This screwdriver's not quite sharp enough. I want to get a different one that's sharper. Yeah, like sharp tips on a screwdriver are generally, it causes problems. I'm serious, it's weird. Like the flight test screwdrivers are awesome for that. You see how this is mostly sharp? If you go get a flight test one, it looks like a razor blade. Anybody who has them will back me up in the comments below.
Maybe you're just picky.
Of course I'm picky. That's why I ended up with you.
Yeah, right. Just impatient.
No, picky. All right, this is, okay, these screws might just suck. The other ones are great, but this screwdriver's not working well either. I'm gonna try for a little bit smaller one, and then I'm gonna get the microscopic. No, I'm not gonna use the microscopic one. I'm gonna try another Chinese one, and then I've got another shorter Craftsman. I think this one's probably gonna be the one I need.
It's just all plastic and plastic and plastic.
Yeah, the problem is you strip these really easy. You see what's happening? As I turn them, it's just barely making it move. It makes me nervous. I wonder if I need to heat them up. Oh, those suckers are tight.
Okay, but once they're in.
Oh yeah, this is just a superficial, pretty thing. Well, I shouldn't say they're superficial because they actually do help stabilize the wing. But are they necessary for flight? Thank you for grabbing my sack.
You're welcome.
It's kind of awkward to do that, you know, like while everybody's watching though. Should be saved for later.
Right there.
Oh man, do you see how hard I'm pushing on
I
this?
do.
I'm afraid I'm gonna break
I
the
do.
plane because this is about the time you're gonna slip
I know.
and stab yourself and look like a fool on YouTube for the 700th time this month.
Don't forget you have a lapel mic. If you stab yourself,
Oh, so what you're saying is,
they can hear you.
okay, you can beep really loud through yours. By the way, we don't have any volume control on these Photo Welt.
Not independent.
Not independent, because this stuff mixes. So I just have to like tap her mic.
Thanks.
Whoops, you're welcome. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's got a little bit of springiness to it from the foam hinge. And I'm trying to think, okay, in the manual, it's gonna tell us where they want the holes plugged. Centering control surfaces first, then check the control surface linkages. Okay, so this is where we wanna see, camera crew, let's give them a shot of this. We're getting ready to put these on for this step. Excuse me, this step here, okay? So we gotta put these on. So in order to do that, which one is this? This is the rudder and the elevator. So we wanna go to the outside hole. The outside hole on the rudder and the elevator. Really? Seriously? The outside hole?
I'm not gonna do that like normal.
I was thinking of a hilarious comment that would alienate some of my viewers, so I'm not gonna say it. It was about this picture. It was about this picture. It wasn't about what you said at all, actually. I'm gonna be nice. It would have been funny though. And 99% of the people would have thought it was hilarious. So I'm gonna vote no.
Okay.
Sorry, people. Sorry, 99%. Okay, so I'm sticking these into, I gotta try to get to the right angle before I stick it in.
That usually helps.
I mean, if you just, you know, get a little bit more crazy, then you can, whatever you put your mind to. Okay, so that, man, those clevises are just so nice looking. That's the crazy thing is, you know, why is it that when I look at a Horizon plane, you know, you don't think to yourself, those clevises are gonna be nice. You don't think that.
That's what I always think.
My camera crew goes through the hobby
I just
shop
sit and,
lusting
like,
after
scroll
clevis.
through the website.
Clevises. They're just clevises.
Clevis.
They're probably just
Clevis.
clevises.
It's probably-
It could be clevi.
No, it's not clever.
It's possible.
That would be
You don't know. You don't know because you just don't know yet. We'll have to look that up too. Good thing we figured out Esmeralda. Morticia. That's what I mean. So this is in the outside hole here, folks. And then this is in the outside hole, you'll notice. I guess I'm gonna fly it stock for now until I realize it will be super easy to change on my first flight.
Of course.
Well, I'm gonna want more control output. That's the way I like to fly.
That's the way you like everything.
More
Control.
outputs? No,
No.
I do. Okay, so this is going to be in the outside hole. And then, whoa, that's like gonna need to be, sheesh, I have to get a room for that one. I think I just moved the servo a little bit, dang it. I could use the servo tester to move it, but I don't know that I really wanna waste that much time. So I'm probably just gonna, man, that's like still, look how far off we are. Did I like grab the wrong one? Oh, you know what it is? I bet you almost anything I bet that thing is not centered. Okay, so let's look inside this spot and just see what we see here. Guys, they have a reinforcement there to grab. That's so nice. Okay, so these are all labeled. Lights, aileron, where's the rudder? Lights, man, there's lots of lights. You got to be real careful when you're yanking on these things, guys. You never know what'll come out and where it's going to go. Flaps, ailerons. Where the heck is the rudder? Of all the things I'm looking. Oh wait, is that the rudder? Yeah, that is the rudder. Yeah, I can't read it. I think that's it right there. Nope, that's throttle.
Wait, they gave you a rudder Y cable. Why is there a... But it's gotta be already.
It's already plugged in, hun. That's what you use when you're using the water rudder. Oh, there it is. Okay, I see it. It's one of these that is just really awkward to grab. It's this one.
One of those yellow and orange and brown ones.
Jeez. Good thing you're mic'd up today for that snide remark. Okay, here's the rudder. Okay, so we got the rudder unplugged. And why are we doing this, guys? We could have just skipped ahead to the radio setup, but not today. No super you. So we're going to energize the circuit with a smart pack. I believe we just have to plug in the discharge lead. Okay. Then I usually do like a Y splitter or something like that to reach down in the hole. I just forgot to grab it. These are the types of things that you keep in your kitchen if you do YouTube videos of radio controlled aircraft on an almost daily basis. Next year, AS3X programming cables. Where the heck is it? Did I use that Y cable in a project? That's so weird. I think I might have. Yeah. I literally had one.
I was going to suggest that, but I didn't know if it would work.
Missed the boat.
Sorry.
All right, so that's plugged in. And the whole reason I did that was just so that I can reach this plug right here. You know what? Why don't we just plug this in and then it'll be in there? Because that way when we go to put the floats in,
Well,
it'll be plugged in.
good.
Okay, so now we're just gonna, maybe if you went to the other side, you could get it from kind of the same angle that you're gonna wanna see. Zero test, whoops. Look, I was correct. See, it was moved. So I'm just gonna leave that in this middle spot. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna hold the servo into the position where it ought to be for the neutral setting, okay? So I'm just turning this and turning it. Jeez, you see how much is protruding through? The problem is when you get off of the thread, sometimes you run the risk of having a problem. Okay, so now I'm looking right in line to see that this rudder is straight up and down. And there's a wheel in the way. Looks like we're close, actually. No, we're not. We need to go out half a turn. Okay. So now we put that into the outside hole. I think we got that. I think it's good now. And then we slide the little gas tube back, the fuel line. And don't go too close, because if you go too close, you'll actually bind a little teeny bit. Okay, so those are both hooked up. Now I can actually, if I really wanted to, I could go into, oh yeah, that's so cool. Look at that. Okay, cool. So we're done with that one. I'm gonna leave the rudder Y splitter cable in there. I'm just gonna make sure everything is tight. Tight like a tiger. And then I'll plug this back in with the brown wire going downward. Okay, I'm gonna pull this rudder sticker back a little bit. And then you see I'm gonna use the wire to my advantage here. See, I'm making it kind of a 90. And then I'm gonna use that to stick it in the hole effectively. And you'd be surprised how much strength you can get from pushing just on the wires. It's not really a good idea to do that long term. Okay, perfect. Now we can plug that back into its position. Oh, that's getting so gorgeous. That thing is gonna look good. Okay, sweet. So now the next thing we need to do is we need to install the wing then. No, it's actually telling us to put the prop on next, okay? So we'll put the prop on next. What do we need to do? We just have to put on the back of the, well, it actually shows, oh, it's just showing that. I thought it was a piece. Just gotta grab this. So this is the part of the spinner that goes in right here. It's all open there. It seems like I'm missing something, but I'm not, because I'm looking at the box and it's definitely, show the people this gap, because this gap is pretty sizable. That's unusually big. All right, and there is no nut that goes in there, so that's actually a promising thing. I'm glad about that, because you'll notice that where the nut is, the label typically goes forward on a prop, right? See how there's nowhere to put a nut, so it's a good thing you don't need that. So that goes there, and then there's one more piece that goes on, and then this adapts the spinner to the back half of the spinner. So this actually traps the prop in there. So this is A again, by the way, even though it's the same as, actually that one is longer. Did you notice that?
It is?
Yeah, it is longer.
It's still labeled A though, so a couple.
Yep.
It's different from the other A.
My camera crew graciously pulled the stuff out of the bags today. So you can just slide a tool through here to give you a little extra leverage. And that sucker's on there good. That prop looks small. That's good for ground clearance. That is really good. Look how far you're gonna have to be up before you hit the prop on the ground. Plus we're on the squishy stuff. That's pretty awesome. Definitely good for a STOL plane. Oh, son of a gun. Guys, I screwed this up. That prop is supposed to be seated up against the plastic. I should have known better. Duh. Like this. See how that goes? Goes all the way over to that position. I think it goes there. And this is going to go like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the way that's supposed to go. My apologies, guys. So we'll just get that kind of torqued down loosely. Make sure it stays in position. Could probably go in the hole I can see.
Usually it's better than a hole you can't see.
Well, it depends.
Usually.
Usually might be right. Okay, so I'm going to still use the American tool here, which is, what was it, like 15 or 15/64? What was it? 5/64, which would be super similar to 2 millimeters. I'm guessing it's probably a 2 millimeter. Okay. Beautiful. I love the way that spinner looks. It's gorgeous. Yeah, it looks so perfect. I don't know how they get those things so perfectly centered. All right, so once we get that done, we have to attach the wing and use more of the screws that came in the everything else screw bag. And it looks like it's pretty simple stuff. We just got a couple of wires to land on either of those wings. So why don't we just start with the one that's hanging over here. Okay, so there's obviously a screw that's going to go in there, and then there's a screw that goes in both of those positions, but we do have to land the wires. So we'll just pull those out. It looks like there's 3 connection points. Good lordy, lord. I'm sure that if you were taking this out to put in your car, you would be like cursing Horizon right now. But at the same time, this is what I don't get, guys. Okay, you've already got a power and a ground that's coming out to power your servos. So why not have a Y cable in here? Oh, you know why? Because they probably have a direct lead that's going to this servo. So if you had an extension cord in there, you could run a Y splitter to act as your LED light and all that. Because you guys see what I'm talking about, right? This red wire and this brown wire, this red wire and this brown wire, this black wire and this red wire, they're all redundant. They're all in parallel. It's just the orange wire that's different. Okay, so lights. So you see how this has only 2 pins? It's like a JST looking connector, except it's not. It's only 2 pins. The red goes to the middle, the black goes to the outside. Okay, so that's just stealing power off of that servo lead. And then ailerons. Here's your ailerons here. So we got that backward right now, so we gotta flip this over or flip the other one over. Plug that in. Again, this is not like an insurmountable thing to have to do to get in the car. You could even leave them plugged in, and you could take this and flip them around like they would on a real plane, like this. Yeah, you could even do something like that, which would be really, no. Oh, jeez. Thank you for noticing that. I didn't realize I unplugged those things. Didn't? No, not at all. I had no idea.
That's what I'm here for.
I guess. That's crazy. I can't believe that thing yanked out so easy. I wonder if I need to get the hot glue gun out. Now you're wishing you wouldn't have brought it up. You've helped me fix planes too many times to know better. Okay, so they're plugged in. So now we're not going to dink around anymore. We're just going to stick it right in there. What?
When do you put the wing joiner in?
Gosh, you have watched one too many of these videos. Okay, grab that wing joiner there, camera crew. Do you want to do the honors of ramming it through? I mean, it's usually, you know, it's like roll reversal. Good job. Okay, don't go all the way in. You have to take your time. Jeez, take your time. You have to get it warmed up. No, I'm pushing these wires in is the problem. You got to wait for the right time to go all the way in. Okay. Do you think you can give them a shot of me struggling to put these through the hole, or should I wait and then we can simulate that later? I'm sorry. I know it's like impossible to film this stuff sometimes. You know, most people just skip this step. They're like, you know, they can probably figure out how to stick the wire that's like 1 inch away from the hole that's 1 inch away, that's collapsing.
You need to see the struggle.
I'm down for the struggle. I don't know about you, camera crew.
Yeah.
Whoa, get in there. Get in there. Don't you be slipping around. Don't you be slipping out. Okay, so you see what I'm doing now? Oh, now's the time. Now you stick it in. Oh yeah, right there. That's where it goes. Wow, that is a good fit. That is a really good fit. Better than average. I'm ready to fly it.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna fall off the table. That thing looks so good in person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's pretty awesome myself. Okay, I got screws sitting all over the place. I think I'm gonna move this stuff off of my cushioning because it doesn't need to have a nice soft landing spot. I'm not very well organized today. What's going on? Careful. Yeah, it feels light. You wouldn't think it was light from those landing gear. They're so heavy duty, but the thing is the plane feels light for its size. And we've had some amazingly good flying weather this week.
Except for the fact that it's like 1,800 degrees out.
It's not 1,800.
16.
Okay. It's been pretty hot.
It's really hot.
We should show them the pile of hay. Why? Why do you give me that look like they don't care about our hair?
No one else cares about our hay as much as you do.
Whatever. They do too. These people are rooting for our hay production. In good faith for profit incentive.
Yes.
If you clip away from me actually building this, there's going to be the biggest mutiny in YouTube history for hay.
I will be so disappointed to not want you to put all the screws in.
Listen, they come for one reason and one reason only, and that is to watch me screw holes.
This is going downhill real fast.
Well, it's usually where it ends up.
It's true.
The gap opened up on this a little bit. I hope it's gonna line up, but are you kidding me? It's going in? Horizon, what's going on? Did you align all these with a jig? That's right, there's usually one. There's at least one. Uh-oh, uh-oh. I need to lube it.
Way to go, Esmeralda.
Oh, wow. Wow. Whoa. Wow.
Tight hole is a good thing.
Well, I mean, there are limits to these things, I suppose. Just like everything else. Maybe if I was like not buying the Pittsburgh brand from China. Pittsburgh. The best tools in China. The ones with the round ends.
Yeah.
I think I might have better results with this.
Mm-hmm. We do have like the world's correctest set of
Allen wrenches
ever.
Which is funny because people are like, why don't you just get some Allen drivers? Allen head nut drivers.
If somebody wants to send us some.
Well, I can tell you this, guys. There is a limit to how many tools you can have, just like there's a limit to how many planes you can have. Not.
Wait, I was going to say.
Not. Did you hear the not? I wanted to make sure to enunciate that. You can have as many planes as you can fit in your life, full scale or otherwise.
We're getting...
Hey, there... It is getting a little bit full.
Dining room table.
Hey, that dining room table looks awesome right now.
And up there where my other decorations are.
Oh, that's an awesome decoration spot. I love that new decoration. Hey, don't show them in the closet because there's airplanes in there too. Guys, I know the last side was a little bit hairy, but this side's gonna be better, I promise. Camera crew's giving me the look. It's not that look either. It's the other look. It's the look like you're a moron.
Isn't that usually the look?
That is generally what I'm used to seeing, yes. Oh no, I gotta dig these ones out bad. I just had the forceps up here the other day. Why don't I get another pair of forceps?
I don't know. Why are they called forceps?
I don't know. I don't name these things. There's lots of different things that terminology means, like tedding, for instance. I was talking about tedding, hey tedding. I mean, yeah, you're right. You gotta qualify.
Now all the people are gonna Google it.
They're gonna Google it and they're gonna be like, what the heck is going on in this channel? It's like, you guys are farmers.
Even every man that watches this channel doesn't know why I call them care that they're forceps.
Get in there. Get in there. Oh man, I hate it when those fiberglass tips don't like lining up. This is gonna be the time when I realize I put it in the wrong way or something. What am I doing wrong, guys? That isn't oblong, does it?
No, but it does seem like...
Like it's fighting me?
Yeah.
I'm probably not aligned perfect either. Oh yeah, there it is. Whoa, it's in the hole. It's in the hole. It's in there. It's in it. I can feel it. It's in it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, there it is. We got it. We're good. Whoa. Whew. That was good. That was good. All right, so now we've got the flaps first, since that's what I grabbed first. Yellow's gonna go upward. By the way, you'll love when that fiberglass dust, when you're cuddling with this blanket.
My blanket? Oh,
you get,
good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it'll go well with the hole from the P-51. You'll love that. You'll think of me every time that you itch the hole. Red is up, which goes to the middle. Oh, guys, look. Whoa. Whoo, that made me nervous. I thought maybe that pin was loose. It wasn't. Gosh, we had a plane the other day we did. And yeah, we had to fix too. Was that on the airliner? It was on the Chinese junk over there that's beautiful, that I love. Just saying, it was on that thing from China. Oh, that's right. We already released that video. It's not like the F-16.
That's funny. Yeah.
So one of our daughters can't quite say 16 yet. which is good because I don't want her to be 16 ever. But the thing is, she says F-teen because we're always talking about, you know, like F-14s and F-16s and F-18s and F-15s. And what other Fs are there, Megan?
F-22.
Good job. That's pretty awesome. That's what I was thinking of. But anyway, so she doesn't say the number. She just says F-teen. F-teen. It's like, get that F-teen, which is cute. It's cute when you're 5.
I think they're all F-teens too. So.
Whatever. You've listened that one time. Man, this side is not sliding in the same as the other side.
I don't even know if I can like help you.
Yeah, I don't think I so much need help as I just have to be patient and not ram it. If I ram it in too fast, I might break it. I don't want to lose those wires though. That'd be a pain.
Yeah.
This actually, I'm making it look harder than it really is. It's actually not that bad. I'm comfortable, I'm standing, I'm not like leaning over in some weird angle. Grab me that Allen wrench though, camera crew, please. Thank you. See, this one wire is just fighting me right here. I just need to kind of pull that up into the opening. Oh yeah, oh yeah, whoa, wow. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Whoa, 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 yes, yes. Got it. Who'd you call me?
Joey. You guys can blossom. You're not like a
Joey?
girl that watched that show when you were a teenager.
No, I don't even know what you're talking about. I mean, I know what you're talking about now, but I don't know what you're talking about. When I think of Joey, I think of Joey from Full House making funny noises.
Oh, no. Joey from Blossom all of a sudden. Whoa.
Whoa!
Yes.
Like that? I don't know that guy though.
Joey from Friends.
Friends? I didn't watch that either. I know I'm weird.
You're just not a girl. Which is probably a good thing.
Yeah. So we've got the strut mounted. Now we need to mount the 2 connection points. These ones are a little bit of a pain because even with the, show them from the side here. Show them from the side. Give them a good look. Oh, I need to put a screw in here too, guys. I forgot that screw. There's a screw that goes in that hole and I just totally missed it. Actually, I don't know if the instruction manual said, oh no. I got another moaner. Oh boy. Wow. This is embarrassing. I hope my parents aren't watching. I hate when they moan like that. Okay. All right. Get in there. Get in there. Okay, we got it start. I think it started. Get in there.
I don't think it is.
It's kind of hard to tell if it's going or not. I think it's going now.
Yeah, I think it's not.
Yeah, I feel it dropping down. Dropping like it's hot. Get in there. Oh, it's another moaner. Are you kidding me?
You need to pause so you can have
Some me time with Molly. Molly the moaner. Oh boy. Wow. Whoa. It's really tight.
Oh, geez.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I think I might have stuffed it into the wing hole too hard, which means I misaligned it slightly. I'm definitely not stripping it. It's just the plastic on plastic rub. It's the rub noise. Okay, we're gonna get her done. Hey, do you want to take this wing off so we can go somewhere with this plane?
Yeah, let's, please.
Yeah, not. Just kidding. If I was taking this on and off all the time, I would probably be using a better tool for the job. Okay, good. You're fired.
No, you're not, because you still have to put a screw in.
You're hired. Hold on. They did not show a screw. Boom! They did not show a screw. For your information. Oh, you know what that's supposed to be? That's supposed to be the third Phillips screw because this thing's too big. We're gonna have to show the people at home here in a minute. Where's my other sack?
Oh.
Grab my other one. There it is.
No, I see it. It is in the direction. Look.
Oh, goodness gracious.
1, 2, 3. But up here, it only says 2 times. So that's confusing.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. Horizon apologist.
Glad somebody reads directions.
Hey, would you grab me the Chinese-ist screwdriver there? There you go. That's a small screw. I'm not really looking forward to chasing that on the floor. So I'm really hoping for a successful insertion. Yeah, this is gonna be awkward. You see what we're doing, guys? This is just gonna go over the top of the rudder, steerable, nose gear, tail dragger rather. These screws, these ones are the ones that are a real pain in the neck because you see I'm having to push so hard. I feel like I'm about to break through and it's not a good feeling. It's a nasty, scary feeling. I can't, and plus my camera crew is kind of like where I need to be, I think. I definitely am going in the right side because if I would have been the other way, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna gently move that out of the way. I'm gonna take this opportunity to tell you a technical thing, guys. Don't jack around your control surfaces while the servos are attached. You gotta be slow with it because there's a lot of really small teeth in there. Like that. Try to avoid that. Okay, all right, that's good. I'm glad I didn't forget that because that would have allowed play on that wheel.
Did we put all of the screws in the tail that we were supposed to? Because we were talking during that part.
You mean, did I tighten them all? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
Are there any that go?
Those were already inserted. This one's in. Was there one from the top?
I
No,
don't know.
there was only one.
Okay. Then that's
There was 2 on the top. Let's double check. That's a good thought, camera crew. Oh man, this thing is looking good. Is it not?
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
you did put the 2 in on the back.
Look how nice that spinner looks. I can't wait to see this thing fly. It's just a weird looking plane. It's got a different appearance to it. It sits low with that wide stance. Should be great for a beginner. I don't know if it's gonna be easy to fly or not, but you would think it would be with a wide stance like that. Okay, so these antennae, they have the little ordnance spot. There we go, just like that. Those things come off nice, so when you go to store these in your car, they'll come off of there really easy, which is awesome. And by the way, these are the types of things that make your planes hard to store. So you may just opt to not leave them on there permanently, but I think they look sweet. Because if I didn't get them from the factory, then I would make them out of like Q-tips or something. Yeah.
And we like things that are hard to store. It's more fun.
Yeah, it's more fun that way. Okay, so we're gonna pause it. We'll get cleaned up and radio set up next. Okay, we're back for the radio setup, and at the beginning of the radio setup, for whatever reason, I always forget to put in the build series the center of gravity marking, which is 55 to 70 millimeters, plus or minus 3 millimeters, which would also be known as 52 to 73 millimeters.
Yeah.
But I'm just, you know, just a layman. So I'm gonna put my awesome set of cheap, like $1 calipers to, what is that, 52 to, did I say, or is it 55 plus or minus 3? So there's the near mark. Okay, so we're just gonna see where that lands from the leading edge of the wing. Okay, so I'm just gonna make one little bump. There's the bump. And then I'm gonna move this out to, well, I'm just gonna get both bumps here. Same direction. Okay. Then I'm gonna go to 73 millimeters.
It's kind of a big range.
That's what she said.
Now that she has a mic on.
Yeah, sorry folks. Our camera crew and I did an audio test before we started, and So you can see the range here now. You'll notice that I just literally poked the plane. That is exactly what I meant to do. Because if you have a little bump like that, you can feel the bump with your finger, and then you can use it to check the center of gravity. Now, as mentioned before, the center of gravity with a 4S 3200 is going to be significantly different than on a 2200 3S. I'm not sure if we're even going to bother with the smaller packs. I think I'm just going to err on the 3200 side, and if it flies like it needs less weight, then we'll consider a 2200. I might actually be inclined to do a bigger pack depending on how it flies. But for now, let's just bring it over here. Then we can mark it. I love this little wire. That is so cool. They did a really nice job with that. I mean, that's attention to detail stuff that you don't see on a lot of these planes. Unfortunately, we don't have the IC3 for the smart receiver there, or smart ESC, but we do have compatible connections here because the IC3 is compatible with the EC3. It just, of course, doesn't have the extra lead for the smart data lead, which is not a big deal, I guess. And there is a Velcro in here. Oh, and the Velcro has pulled all the way off. I'll just stick it back down. I don't know for sure if I'm gonna need this or not. It's always so tough because here's the thing, guys. If you're anything like me, you got a million different lipos. And you don't wanna put the Velcro here, right? Because then in the next plane, you're gonna need it here. And then on the next plane, you kinda need it over here, which that doesn't happen often. But it's just one of those things where it's like, I hate putting the Velcro on the packs. But at the same time, it does unarguably work to hold the packs in. So in this case, the other thing too is these warning labels, they're pretty well applied on some packs, and on other packs, they're not. Looks like this one is nice and clean removal, which tells me that I want it off. And you're thinking to yourself, no, don't take off your safety labels. Yes, do. Because if you put this thing on top of that thing and then it pops off, then you're gonna wish you had it off. Don't remove the other label though, because you need to have the information about the battery. So I split it lengthwise, the Velcro, and I'll just have to grin and bear it on the planes. The provided Velcro, which is not Velcro, it's like hook and loop or whatever non-branded type, I don't know. This stuff always works really good. It's better than the stuff I get. And I get Velcro brand stuff. And I immediately take these labels off too. Like, I don't need a reminder to be careful about the prop, because the reminder for me is the prop spinning 30 seconds before and after. Yes, you could probably get away with leaving the label on here because this has got a filmy, waxy sort of finish on it. But I'm just nervous it's gonna, of course this one comes off like crap, like 100% of the adhesive is there. This one come off perfect. It's totally clean. So if you wanna get that stuff off, you have to probably use acetone. I'm just gonna stick the Velcro on there and let it get all dusty and gross and grimy.
Sweet.
It's not like they sit out in our kitchen. Or anything. Wait, they do. So camera crew, what happened to your lapel mic on the last stint?
I don't know. We tested it.
We did, and it worked.
And then it was off when we stopped.
So I don't know if like the battery freaked out or.
I don't know. It says it's full. It missed all of my commentary.
I know, and
It's gonna be really disappointing.
this is, watch, this is really sticky.
Gross.
Well, I just want you to see how much tack there is left on there. It's not going to be very fun to deal with. Okay, so this battery is going to be a little awkward to fit in here. I'm just trying to watch out for different things on our kitchen island. Unfortunately, ooh, this is not the crappy one. This is the slightly thicker one. Horizon has a variety of these straps that they offer, and some of them are really, really janky. And then some of them are like decent, and then some are awesome. Trying to think of an example of a plane that has the awesome ones and an example of the plane that has the crappy ones. I think that the F-16 had decent ones. Nah, I can't remember. Oh man, does this thing not fit? And did I really just put Velcro on here and have it just barely make it in the cavity?
That's like the recommended.
Yeah, it's the recommended 4S range.
Are you hitting something further back?
Yeah, we call that the back of the container. Look how close this is.
That's crazy.
I know. It makes me a little bit sad. I mean, I can just ram it in there.
Well, hopefully it CGs.
Yeah, good point, camera crew. The other thing too is like, I totally did not need that Velcro. Guys, this is why you watch the unboxings, so you can see people like me make stupid mistakes so you can avoid them.
Don't put on the Velcro.
You don't need the Velcro because it's gonna be so tight in there anyway.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere.
I'm actually gonna have to probably take a little bit of that foam out just because I do not want that thing to be damaging the leads.
No.
Did you guys see the leads? It's like tight.
Yeah.
Like a toiga. And I don't think I can get the leads in the other way necessarily.
I'll leave it on the front.
So I brought this marker over so that we could mark where it goes, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna be pretty obvious now. Yeah, it goes in. All right, so the next step for us is gonna be to start the radio process. The radio process, as mentioned at the beginning of the build, was pretty straightforward stuff. Ooh, do we need to check the CG? Yeah, we do need to check the CG because we're not technically done with the CG part yet.
Right.
The battery leads are just gonna get tucked in and away. And we'll put the lid on there. Ooh, you do have to pull that thing back, guys. Otherwise it'll poke your foam. Okay, it's in. So we have the CG mark at the beginning, we have the CG mark at the end. Whoa. Why am I doing this upside down? Dumb. I marked the top of the plane. I have a really hard time believing that that's not going to be good enough to fly.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm right in the middle of
Right
the
in the middle.
range. Yeah, it should be fine.
Well, that's good. Since there's nowhere to go.
Exactly. And when we put the 3200 3S in there, which my plan is, guys, just so you know, my tentative plan is to fly the 3200 3S and the 3200 4S. And then possibly what I'll do is I'll end up doing a 2200 just to show you how long the flight is, because they're supposed to be pretty short flights. But if it ends up being like a 20-minute flight, then you'll know that from the beginning. Okay, so on page one, excuse me, page 2, you're gonna see the throws, if you decide to do it that way, which I don't. 4-minute flight timer. And then this is what we're really looking for, the computerized transmitter setup. You see that, hon?
No, because you have to hold still.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so from the function list, scroll all the way down to system setup. Are you sure? Hold on, I gotta, yeah.
We'll avert our gaze.
Sorry, guys. I have unseen projects here and I don't want you guys to see. So add new model. Do you want to create a new model? Yes. Okay, so now we'll go to model type. We're going to make a new acro. It says start all transmitter programming with a blank acro. Perform a model reset. Data will be reset. Yes. Okay, model name is going to be Sing as a Maule. You guys see with the firmware upgraded here.
They saw it 2 years ago when they upgraded their firmware.
Hilarious, camera crew. What the heck is going on here? Oh, I forget you gotta click it twice. Maule.
We'll pause while you do that.
Oh. Okay, so we have the Maule M-7 1.5 meter. So we'll just go back from there. And then just referring over to the computerized transmitter setup page, which is right here. You can basically see that on the DX18, that's what we're using. we need to select aircraft type, airplane, 1 aileron, 1 flap. So aircraft type is going to be 1 aileron and 1 flap and normal tail. And then we're going to go over here to be disappointed by the lack of appropriate plane picture, which, by the way, the other day we set the Boeing 737 to that stupid like paper airplane, didn't we?
Yeah.
And this was there was another one that this one would have been better. So we'll change that one.
Oh.
This one's pretty close to yeah, that's pretty close. That's all right, I live with that. They do not mention what plane picture to use in the manual.
It's all up to you.
Yeah, that's right. You got to make your own decision on that. Okay, so it looks like from the function list now, so we can go back. Want to go in and set the throttle cut first. I'm setting it to switch H, which is this one. Then I'm going to set it to -100, which is nice, and verify it's working by the throttle not moving. When the throttle cuts off, it does move. So it's working. Then I'm going to go to timer, and I'm going to set it to 4 glorious minutes. Maybe. And then I'm going to set alarm to tone and vibrate. Then I'm going to go to next, and then I'm going to say clear timer. I'm going to leave that alone. Then I'm going to go into expiration, like no kidding, I just turned it on. Then I'm going to go to next. That's the most annoying thing ever.
You really have to figure that out.
That's really annoying.
There's gotta be like a default.
I think there probably is a default setting for that, but basically, oh, and then I got to turn on 1 out too. Sorry,
that's
folks.
Like way more steps than it used to be.
Yeah, it's like
to do the same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, we did have like 3 years of firmware that I didn't have updated, which is pretty good. Like I didn't even have the forward programming. Which, by the way, does the forward program? No, you can't see it yet. All right, so what else? Flap system. Okay, so we'll go back into function list. Flap system. We're gonna attach it to B in my case, is what I want. Position 0 is gonna be -100. Then position 2 is gonna be +100. All right, and then elevator is gonna be +4 and +10. The last plane we had, we totally eliminated that. Was that on the air tractor?
No.
Speed's supposed to be 2. It was the air tractor, I think.
it?
I think it was the air tractor. I could be mistaken. Okay, so that's all set. So we're basically have everything set. Throttle cuts on. I'm gonna have safe on this switch.
Are you doing dual rates in Expo now?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're gonna set this to switch F on 0. It's gonna be, they didn't talk about high and low limits. Yeah, they did. They set dual rates to they wanted you to do 170, okay? So if you look at this, this is what I'm gonna do. This is a subjective thing, guys. You may not want it to be like this, but I do. So I'm gonna run Expo the same as I always start from because it gives me a baseline. And I'm gonna run back. Okay, so on the top setting, so this is like the most Expo and lowest rates. This is the least Expo and the highest rates. And then this is the middle. That's where I'm gonna start flying. So if I have trouble, if it's not sensitive enough, I can go up to that. If it's too sensitive, then I can go down to that. And I'm gonna do that for all 3 axes. There's aileron, elevator, set that to switch F. We're gonna set this to 30. I'm gonna set the rates down to 90. I'm gonna set the Expo to 20 in the middle setting. And then I'm gonna set this to 10 in the low setting. So basically same thing. If you don't know what Expo is a way to soften the sticks. Is the easiest way to describe it. It changes the amount of output that's present at a part way out from the middle of the stick. I'm using the rudder stick is over here. See how this is fairly linear right now? It's just a nice straight line. And as I move the stick, you can see that little cursor there. Well, when I set this to 10, what happens is in the middle, it doesn't make as much change for a little bit. And then it goes back to the normal linear output. Oh, I need to set that to switch F. So this setting is going to be 10, then this one's going to be 20. So you can see it's less output until you get out here. Then it's like full output. It catches back up. You see? And then on the top setting, I'm going to lower the output altogether to 90, meaning that you can never have more than 90% output. And the Exco is going to be pretty aggressive at 30. So as you move the stick, it just barely does any output until now it starts kicking in. You see that? So what that does is you'll have to just fly it and see how you like it, because it is a highly subjective thing. I mean, you can kind of get in the ballpark with the settings doing it this way, and I usually start in the middle and then I just adjust from there accordingly. Okay, so everything is set up. I'm ready for everything but safe. Safe, I always seem to have to switch. In monitor mode, this is something too, if you guys haven't figured this out, see how gear is moving when I flip the switch? This is switch A, so that's what I'm gonna assign for my safe select. So I'll bind this with safe select so you can see how it operates. We already have the battery in the plane. So I'm just gonna take a quick second and clear the things off the counter just in case the propeller starts spinning, which I've never had that happen. But some people have had it happen, so you have to be very careful. Secure the plane. I usually like to figure out a safe place to grab it. You can take the prop off, but I just can't bring myself to do it. That's what Horizon would recommend you do. Throttle cuts on, okay? Transmitters. I'm just thinking about where I can be to be safe, because I've also got the added benefit of this. So nothing's gonna hit if it were to start going crazy. Okay, now I'm gonna shut off my transmitter. I'm prepared. I have all my switches in the neutral condition that I want them in for fail-safe. And now we need to open up the bottom hatch so that we can get to the bind plug, which we have to insert. Can I put this down with the antennas the way they are?
Yes, actually like that you can.
Okay. So I'm gonna just release this hatch. You wanna hold that camera crew for just a second?
Yeah, I got it.
So we have a bind plug. This is an AR636B, so we do have to plug in a bind plug. Okay, so the little ribs, the angular flats are gonna go like this, okay? So in order to do this for safe, I believe we have to plug it in, plug in the battery, and then let it start flashing. Well, we'll just show it on the menu. Can you hold that still and do this? Okay, so for safe binding, it's different than AS3X binding. There's your safe select assignments. You just hold the sticks down and in. But then what you're gonna do for safe on, you're gonna install the bind plug, then you're gonna power it up, then you're gonna remove the bind plug, then you're gonna press your bind button and do it. So that's what we're gonna do. So the bind plug is in. We can lay the plane down. This is awkward.
It is very awkward.
Assuming that the throttle doesn't arm, we'll be safe, so I'll just kind of have my hands out of the way just in case we're wrong. Now it's plugged in. Well, those LEDs are nice and white. Just waiting, giving it a chance to do something crazy. Now we're gonna flip it over. You'll notice we're in bind mode.
Watch the antennas.
Ooh, thank you.
Okay.
We're in bind mode here. Now I'm gonna pull this out. That's gonna do our safe select. Safe select binding procedure. I'm gonna hold the bind switch. I'm gonna turn this on, securing the plane. Can you even see that, hon?
Yep.
Binding DSMX 22 milliseconds telemetry. And it should do the dance. You can let go once it starts. Elevator already snapped. 2 times through. ESC's armed. This is the time where you're gonna go ahead and test things because you're in a vulnerable spot with this setup. Throttle cut is working, okay? So now I'm gonna turn off throttle cut, make sure it doesn't start at 0, and wow, that's powerful. Throttle cut is on and tested. Always test throttle cut, because if you hit this instead of that, it could be a bad day. Oh, big old flaps. Look at that. I noticed an imperfection in my foam here.
Yeah.
It's like a dark
spot.
See that? Man, that thing moves a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Sweet. No wonder we didn't have to put them in the inside holes. Okay, so now that we're done binding, the bind switch or bind plug is already pulled out. We can basically go ahead and put the lid on. And I would suggest that we go Maiden this thing as soon as we get these covers on. But wait for 1 second. I want to show the people what it looks like. So if you guys are watching right now, you're probably coming to the end of this wonderful video, well-produced video.
Mm-hmm. Highly
quality. Educational video.
Yes.
But the thing is, thank you for being part of this wonderful experience for us. If you buy this from the links below, you really do help support us financially, and you help support the channel because it makes me look good, which means these people like to work with me. I like this plane. I hope you'll like it. We're gonna go find out just how great it is. You've already seen the flight, but we haven't, so we're excited to see it right now. All right, YouTube, in our haste, we forgot to show the safe select designation. So we're gonna do that right now before we go fly. Okay, so obviously we got throttle cut on and it's been tested. So we'll just do that real quick just to show you it's tested. Now, as you'll notice, nothing's happening here, okay? So we have to do the safe select designation, which is to bring the 6 down and in. And then we're gonna use and articulate whatever switch we want to activate it. I'm gonna use this switch, which is tied to the gear channel. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See it dance? Now it danced, okay? So that should be doing it now. Okay, now just to be clear, I count 1/2. It's actually like 1, 2, because they say 5 times in the manual. So now let's see if it's on or off. Elevator is trying to level. Ailerons are trying to level it. See how this aileron goes up? Uh-oh. That one's not moving. Okay, let's see if... Ooh, we got to figure out what's going on there. Okay, so that aileron, that's working. So we just got to figure out what's going on the other side. So we'll pause it and come right back. Okay, so the normal switch condition I fly in is right here, back. Okay, so the normal switch condition has safe off, which is what I want. When I want to turn safe on, I can just pull the switch back toward us and then we're good to go. So at that, we're ready to take off. So we'll be right back flying. So because we don't know if the flight's going to come first or at the end, if this is the end, what a beautiful plane. This Maule M-7 is awesome. It's going to fly on rails. It's going to be awesome. And I can't wait to share it with you. Future tense.